Hey there guys, and welcome to part 4. This is the longest we've ever had to do these design streams, but it is what it is. I started off with not really having any idea where we were going with this, and now I have a much better idea where we're going with this. So I'm hoping to wrap this up in this stream, crossing my fingers. But here we go. So as you can see here, just for demonstration purposes, this was one option that I had. So this is the 4 pieces that we have in all piece, let's say. And they could be connected like this to snap together. Just have these puzzle piece type connectors. I went ahead and modeled that up just that we could see them as an option. And again, to reemphasize, my problem with this is that when the pieces are on the board, you have this little random tab sticking out, and there's no way to get around that, because when we drag these in, well, stop at 0. When we drag these in, as you can see, we have no way to insert extra space here to cover that tab up. That tab has to be exposed, and there's not really a good way to go about it. Then, I also modeled up this one, which I kind of sketched up, and this isn't completely precise, like this wouldn't work terribly well, but it is the idea that I had, you know, basically having them pieced together in the long direction, and they would look something like this. Again, this would have to be refined, but that is what we were looking at. So I just wanted to get those two on paper, well, in modeled, and now we can move on with our lives now that we see that. So what I am thinking, and what I've come to the conclusion that probably should be done, is we will be taking these pawns and using them to connect them, but in a slightly different manner. I can't recall if I ever said put them through here, if I only thought that. Let me grab a pawn and bring a pawn in here. I probably should have set this up beforehand. Let me update and then derive, save and continue. Drive to existing design, click the pawn, grab the parameters for propriety's sake, and all pieces select. And let's turn everything else off so that we can see the pawn. And this is for demonstration purposes. I'm not actually going to bring this guy in right now, but for demonstration purposes, I believe I mentioned at one point, though I don't recall if I did it on stream, that basically this right here was an option. Let me get it lined up correctly. There. Flip. All right. Try this again. Basically, running it through the center here is what I'm trying to get here. As long as I can click the correct faces to get it to do what I want. And it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But take this guy and imagine this guy running through the dead center of the base here. That was an idea I had. I'm going to kind of run with that idea, kind of not. So instead of running through the base, I'm going to, and it's a shame I already killed this, but you see this clip here? Instead of this clip being on the x-axis, x/y-axis, I'm going to have it turned sideways to go Z up and down, basically. And we're going to put it in the base here. So then this piece right here, the pawn, will click in, just bring it straight down on top here, and click it in straight down on top. And we'll have 1, 2, so 2 clips here to clip it in. It will overlap onto this third piece just based on its height, and we can always adjust that height up a little bit more to give ourselves a little bit more bite into another one here. So what that looks like is you got a clip here and here, and then another clip going perpendicular to those right up against the edge. So we'll have 3 clips, and then they just rotate 90 degrees, and we'll have 3 pawns sticking out 90 degrees from the edge. Actually, it might actually work if I use that face instead. Yeah, not really. All right. I'm not going to fight it right now, but that is the general idea. So we'll have the pawns clip into the bases here, And since the clips are on the bottom of the base, that won't be visible from the top of the base. So that's the design I've decided to go with. With all 4 pawns going in 4 directions, it is a little, because the base sticks out, again, the base will be sticking out perpendicular to this wall. So that's not as ideal in my opinion because it adds to the bulkiness of it. However, it is what we've got right now to work with. And it's one of those things, we were a bit late on the last contest, and therefore I would like to be a bit quicker on this one, get this one done a bit earlier. And again, I'm not going to fight with this right now because that's not the point. So, things we got to do in order to achieve this, and again, we're trying to get this all done in one stream. This base is going to have to be modified without modifying the pawn base, which is a problem, which means that I'm going to come in here. So the most logical thing to do would be to take this, derive this base chess piece off into a pawn piece, and then into a connector piece, let's say. And then the connector piece gets imported into all the major pieces, and then, then it would be that. Then the pawn base would be different from the major piece connectors, and we'd be good. The issue with that, and the reason I'm not going to do it, is because that means we're going to have to come back in here and modify, change the derivative here on all these. So these are all going to be derived from a different one, which is going, all right, you know what? I said we weren't going to do that, and I was thinking because of all the extra work, but I've done this enough times, I've redesigned these enough times that honestly, what's it going to take me, half an hour? So if this ends up being a 2-hour stream instead of an hour and a half stream, I think you'll all forgive me, right? Because really that's the way it should be. My alternative was, what I was going to suggest doing is just copy paste this chess piece and rename the other one to pawn base, and then modify this chess piece, and then just redo the pawn, just redo the pawn's derivative, derived timeline function right here, and redesign the pawn from there. That we were only redesigning one piece, but the fact of the matter is that it's probably better to do it right the first time and not be afraid of a little extra work. Again, I was thinking that I really didn't want to waste the extra time doing this, but it's not that much extra time in the grand scheme of things. So let's take this chess piece, create, derive. Okay. And we're going to save this as pawn base. And this one we are going to scale down. What do we have the pawn scaled down by? 75, I think. Yeah, 75. Okay. Oh, and for the record, because we didn't know what point it selected the last time. Okay, it just picked a corner is what it looks like. If I'm reading this correctly. Yeah, okay, it just picked a corner and went with it. I wasn't sure because I don't use the scale function all too much last stream what exactly what feature or aspect of the shape I should pick. Evidently, it just picked a corner. So let us modify scale, and I can never find scale because I hardly ever use it. Scale, there it is. That, and 0.75, okay. And this is now pawn base. Let's hop over to the pawn, go back to the beginning, and then derive this guy to existing design. Okay, pawn, select. And now we can delete these guys. And actually, I'm going to delete this guy too, just because the pawn base, I'm going to change its shape. So back to clips, it's easier to do a round clip than a triangle clip. Obviously we had the triangle shape before, but it's easier to do a round clip than a triangle shape because the round shape has a basically the forces acting against it are more linear. Well, they're not even really linear. They just have this slope to them that makes them a little bit more satisfying, I guess is what I'm going to say. It's really not necessary. It could be triangular. I just, for whatever reason, feel like the rounded shape on the clip is easier, is what I'm going to say. So let's go ahead and draw that. I am in a sketch already, so let's project. Okay, let's look at it. Construction lines, chest piece. Won't do the whole entire thing. Center it up. And I'm going to make this a D shape. Center this on here. Oh yeah, and in case you did not watch the chess stream, well, let me say a couple things about the chess stream. Sunday night chess stream, I was lower energy than I realized. I don't know why exactly, but I was not particularly happy with how that went, so therefore it's unarchived, it's unlisted. So that is why, if you happen to see me streaming yesterday and even tuned in for a little bit and then all of a sudden went, where'd that go? That would be the reason. Gonna have to work on that. That's not really great. But for the time being, how do I want to do this? Go down 3, 2. Alright, I'm just gonna do it that direction. Okay, buddy. And turn you back on so I can see you. Turn the bodies back on. And do we have, back to these parameters. Alright, so there is top of base, pawn overall height. There we go. Okay, we do have a pawn overall height. Good. Close that out. Pawn overall height. Let's turn you back on like we did before. And since this is overall height, we're going to go from the base up and call that a join. Okie dokies. Oh, I think I cut myself off there on the music because I started talking about the chess stream. So, as I mentioned in the chess stream, which you may not have seen and you will not be able to see at this point, music was getting a bit repetitive, only because we listen to it like every single day. Well, not every single day. I haven't been streaming every single day. But, let's say 5 times a week, maybe 6 if I'm doing extra weekend streams. So since we were listening it to that much, I decided to snag some more music. This is just copyright free, or however you like to say it, music off of YouTube. So if you recognize any music, that's why. It's just a YouTube music. Otherwise, we're going to run with this for a little bit until I get bored of this, and then we'll grab some more music and just keep on going. This will be derived into... Oh no, we're in the pawn base right now. I don't want to be in the pawn base. I want to be in chess piece. Chess piece, create, drive, click it good. Parameters are still grabbed. Alright, now we're going to save this as major piece base. Okie dokies. I understand. Fusione. Let's go ahead and make you read only for the time being, because we don't need chess piece anymore. At least we shouldn't. Important thing to note, that pawn I just made 9 millimeters, which is way too big, or 7 millimeters. Okay, 7 millimeters minus 7.5 is 3, so minus 1.5 is 2 plus 3 is 5.5. So that is 5.5. We have a 6 millimeter base, so that actually needs to be smaller in order to give us extra meat. So let's make this 1, finish and save, and I guess it's good enough, right? It's gonna be 3.5 plus 1 is 4.5, so it's gonna be 4.5, which is acceptable. And do I stylize this now or not? I guess I don't just yet. And the reason that I'm saying needs to be smaller is because we're going to throw these clips in here and they're going to be embedded in this. So let's grab the side of this. Okay, click it. Project it. Construction line it. Make sure we didn't just add something weird to the... Okay, cool, we didn't. I thought it might have dragged something. Alright, so if we... I like grabbing corners better. So we'll do it this way. And do that, kill that, make this perpendicular instead to there, and get you midpointed on that. Okay, it does not want to be midpointed. That is fascinating. Why doesn't it want to be midpointed? Let's delete you out really quick. That is perpendicular. That, I just want you to be midpoint. All right, there we go. Don't know what was going on there. Just know that we are now midpointed and it's still doing this weird dragging thing that Fusion has been doing recently. Good. All right, so we need a 4.5 to mimic. Actually, we can leave that solid. This is going to be mimicking the pawn. The pawn's flat side can go ahead and be down here. I'll draw it in just for the... actually, this needs to be 7. If I'm going to mimic the pawn. If I'm going to mimic the pawn, let's do this. And do this. And then what I want to do is make this parallel. So the flat side of the pawn will be collinear with this, in theory. Obviously, that does bring that up quite a bit. Let me double check. Oh, 1. Duh. That's why we changed it. I was going to say, that shouldn't be quite like that. All right, there we go. So there's the pawn. Here's a 2mm outer shell. And you'll... actually, I guess you won't... did I do something of a clip online before? I kind of feel like I did. But I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then give ourselves another 2mm shell here. This is just space. So looking at this, in case you can't read all these lines because they are weird, this right here, this inner one is going to be the clip. I'm going to go ahead and make this solid so that we select just this when we extrude. So that clip will get extruded. This right here will be empty space. That will be empty space, and actually because of that, I'll probably just extrude these instead, and that will give us a clip. It is not the prettiest of clips. The fact of the matter is that 1mm actually is hurting us a little bit right now. I'm going to go ahead and continue this anyway. What I might end up doing instead is making these 7mm bases, and then the pawn, I'll go back to having the pawn at 2mm here. That way it's further down. Basically, we're not getting much of the grip around the corners here with the clip because it's so close to the center point of the circle. The horizontal, whatever you call that, diameter, the longest chord in the circle. So therefore it's not wrapping around as much and not clipping is the problem here. So we may need to change that so that we can get a better bite on there. And the reason why I don't just go up higher and back to that 2mm is because I don't want to make this distance here, this 1.5, any smaller than that. 1.5 is already pretty thin. I prefer it to be more like 2. But until we change the base and actually make the base taller, this is what we're going to stick with. And then we'll deal with everything from there. Now, as stated, we're also going to have one over here. So let's toss that on there. And this one over here is to clip into the pawn running perpendicular to hold us perpendicularly in place. So let's go ahead and, one other thing that I should mention. Obviously, this isn't going to print the prettiest. It's actually not that bad in terms of overhangs, to be fair. It's not terrible, but it is going to be a little less nice than I would like. It's one of the things, again, I will print samples, and then if we got to come back for another stream, another design stream to fix stuff, I will decide whether or not that's worth it. If it's a minor tweak, then I probably won't. Otherwise, if it's a major rehaul, then we're just going to have to go to part 5. So that's where we're at right there. So let's do the same exact thing we did over here. Now the only question is, I kind of wanted to make this smaller, and I think I will. So the diameter on the center of this pawn is going to be smaller. I'm going to call it 6. We had 7 before. I'm going to do 6 here. And then let me get... Did I even use that line on the other one? I know I put the vertical line in there. Yeah, okay, I did. I'm not going crazy. Because I... Right, because I did the tangent up here. For some reason, I couldn't remember why I put that line there. That would explain it. And you should not be quinkadink with that in that case. Which is probably what... Okay. Probably why I couldn't remember, because everything was different. So you are perpendicular to that. You are midplane on that. You are connected to that. And you... if we're going to 6 millimeter, I mean, it's still going to be... I'll keep it at 1 for right now. 1 millimeter, just to keep everything even. Actually, this... Interesting question. Let's actually see what that looks like, because I just realized that is not going to look exactly the way I think it's going to look. So this is going to change. The reason, let me just back up a little bit. The reason I wanted to put this at a different diameter is because I wanted, this pawn is can just slide out the side, okay? I want it to have a bulbous head so that it can't slide out. So this side, this perpendicular hoop here is going to act as a catch, and then you've got to snap the pawn out the bottom instead of being able to just pull it out this side. So that is the idea behind it. And I should probably do this. So minus pawn overall height times let's see, if we have a 3 millimeter head, let's say. So I'll start with 3 millimeter. We'll see where we end. Actually, I should just do the math is what I should do. The base size on here, let us turn you on. What is my base size again? My base size is 19.05. How did I define that? Parameters, chess piece, base offset. Okay, so base offset ref is whatever that is. Let me just open this up because I can't see it. Base offset, base offset. Oh, there it is. Base size. Oh, 3/4 of an inch. That's what 1905 is, 3/4 of an inch. Okay. So the base size is 3/4 of an inch and 1905. And our pawn, let's look at our pawn. Our pawn's height from here to here is 20.9. So math really quick. 20.9 minus 19.05 should be 0.85, I think. Sounds right, right? No, does not sound right. 1.85. So we want to go 1.85 from the top, which is not great. So this becomes a little bit of a balancing act, because let's look over here. You see where this clip is right here? So between this inner shell, because I can extrude all the way through, and that outer wall is my maximum distance. So the minimum distance here is 6 millimeters. So actually 6 millimeters really isn't that bad. So we can have a pawn head up to 6 millimeters tall. So let's go ahead and change the pawn height. And I'm going to change this. Let's see. How do we want to change this? Because we have a couple different options. So the overall height times 1/2 is how we're defining it right now. We can change that just straight up. We might just want to hard code this for right now, rather than getting bogged down in trying to figure out what looks pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and hard code it. So our base size is 19.05, right? Base size ref. Okay, we do have access to base size ref here. Base size ref. So that is the full length of the base size ref. And actually, well, let me just finish my thought here. And since I have up to 6 millimeters, I'm going to go ahead and take 4 for right now. So I'm going to change that, and I'm going to change this to just pawn height. Redefine this as pawn height. Okay. And this we will now redefine as just from the top here. Whoops. That was not good. I'm going to read, it's one of those things that we could do profile plane. Yeah, let's just leave it at profile plane. I don't know why I'm trying to complicate things. Just leave it at profile plane and be happy. So I'm going to double check. So our 19.05 plus 4 is 2305. Math checks out. Cool. So we haven't screwed anything up just yet. And now back over here. Actually, I take it back. Here, I want to go from here plus base size. All right. So this, in theory, is the end of the previous piece. So from here, I want to make this a bit smaller. And the trick here is I want to keep this face flat. So I'm going to go ahead and reduce this. And because I'm keeping this flat, I'm going to have to figure out. So let's just call this 6 for now. Because this does get a bit messy. Because this I'm going to call 2 millimeter. We're going to have a 2 millimeter clip. And the reason it gets messy is when I try to transfer this over, this distance here is not... Okay, that distance is still 1. I guess, yeah, no, that makes sense because I'm still going off the same center diameter. Okay. I was thinking that distance was going to change, but no, I guess not. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense in retrospect. Alright, so there's that one. That is still on the bottom. So everything here should check out. And if we look at it visually, it does... Yeah, I think it still checks out. So I will take it. So let's just do what we did before. Toss 2 and 2. 2 and 2. Same exact process we did before. And extrude these guys. Actually, turn you on. And I'm derping on something here. What am I derping on? What line did I miss? Oh, I forgot the line across the top. Derp. Toss you in here. There we go. That's solid. Or no, that's solid. And then that is tangential to that guy. There we go. Now, click, 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 click. and turn you back on. And to object, that guy. And that should be correct. I don't think I want this one. Yeah, okay. I am happy with this. Alright. Cool. So that should work as expected. Oh, actually, that does not work as expected. Nope, that does not. Oh, what I should do. Alright. Basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this wall out and change this just to a 2mm wall. -2. Okay. And we are going to click that. Click that and that. Actually, let's back up a little bit here. You'll see that my timeline is getting a little messy. Obviously, it is what it is. I mean, and it's not even really that messy. It's just a matter of, because we're modifying the pre-existing body, it's going to look like that. So I'm not terribly concerned. Anyway, click there. And then I want that profile, and I just want to take this profile. Whoops, not that, to that. I just want a square edge here to work with. And then let me double check this because I may not have to change anything. Minimum distance is 2mm. Okay, so I will have to change something. So let's come back onto this sketch plane. Whoops, wrong click. Come back in here and project this wall out. And then look at it. Turn the body off. Grab the sketch from before, not that one, that one. And I want to make sure that we have enough room for 7mm. So, because the 7mm head is going to be sticking through here. So, we want to make sure that it clears all the way through. So before I extrude this though, let me back up a step and just mirror this straightening of the wall so that both sides are uniform. It's not completely necessary, but it's going to make me happy. And again, one of these things, yeah. I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen because we're going to object. So, alright, cool. Optimize worked. Good deal. And now, this guy, this next sketch that I made, I want to extrude this one, distance to object, and I'm just going to extrude it rather straight through. It's technically, so if this to that is, this to the outside of the clip, is 2mm and this is a 2mm clip, then really the head should stop sooner. I mean, let's just take a look at it. So we're looking at a 4mm head, and you see how that stops before the curve. So if I'm looking up here at the curve, we just barely miss it. You know, it's tangential, so we should be good. Now we can go ahead and do that, and we got our side clip. Alright, cool. And then take a quick look at the pawn. Control Z. Alright, so that's our pawn right now before stylization. Okay, before we start stylizing things, I'm not going to save that just yet, but before we start stylizing things, let's go ahead and get all these bases swapped over. So we're going to come rook first. Let me turn chess piece off because we don't need it. And I'm going to turn all pieces off. Don't save. because we're not going to be looking at that for a little while. Chest piece. I thought I closed you. All right, starting with the rook, because major chest piece or base piece. Derive. Okay. Got all the stuff we need, and existing design. Existing design to the rock. Okie dokies. Now, the rock, we're going to delete you. Well, let me not delete you until I have everything I want. I just want to make sure. Yeah, top of base ref divided by 4. I want to make sure that I replicate this exactly, and I don't forget. So we're going to come here, project, turn off, project that guy, make you construction lines, turn off bodies, toss a square in here, top base ref divided by 4 is what we did, and these are equal, and that is centered on that. Cool. Finish, and then we're going to extrude that from object, overall, major piece overall height, and we hit the join button. Oh, yeah. Whoopsies. Okay, we're gonna have to change how that works. So, major piece. We're gonna create a new parameter. Where do we keep? All right, I'm not seeing them right now. All right, we're making a new parameter here. Major piece height. In case you did not see that, basically what happened is, shoot, where are our variables? Ah, there we go. There we go. And this, do we have base height? Top of base ref. I do not see base height in here, so let's go fix that. Basically what happened is that we extruded from the floor this time because we'd had a non-solid base, which is a problem. So change parameters. I don't see a base height. Let's check you out. All right, base height equals, and now we got to make you editable and save you. And then we'll make you read on. Well, let's wait till you get done syncing. All right, read only. Cool. And now we can go back over here to major piece base, update. Nothing should break. If something breaks, I cry. And now let's save this and hop back over to the rock. Update. Modify. Change parameters. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and delete this stuff now because we definitely don't need that stuff now. And come down here, parameters. Major piece. Major piece. Actually, no, chest piece. Chest piece, extrude. Where is base height? Extrude, extrude, extrude. I do not see base height. Okay. Major piece. Oh, that's because it's not major piece, it's chest piece. No, I was just in there. Huh. Fascinating. Why do I have 4 extrudes in the chest piece? All right, we're opening you back up. Modify, change parameters. Model parameters. Extrude. Base height, right? Chess piece version 14. Modify, change parameters. Chess piece 14, extrude. Alright, there's base height there. Come back over to the rock. Change parameters. Chess piece 14, huh? I got 4 extrudes and I have no idea. Plain sketch, plain sketch, plain sketch. Huh. Alright, this is what we're gonna do. Not sure why I'm losing it, but this guy we did not make any changes to. Don't save. This guy we will make a change to. We will go ahead and just star this guy. Star the base height. Okay. Save. Okay. And hop over to rock. Update. And oh shoot. Did I? That's the other thing that I meant to do and I don't think I did. Because I got distracted. Modify, change parameters. Let me click it. Oh, this is actually in chess piece. That's why I can't click it. Got it. Hey, Wrath. Hey. Sorry, did not see you come in. Thank you for being here. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Juggling parameters, as you can see. Alright, major piece height. And minus base height. Okie dokies. Alright, that is now updated, and we're going to change this name now instead of overall to just height. Cool, good. Save that guy. Major piece, update. And we're almost there. Let's save really quick and see if I can't access it anyway. Just for the heck of it. Alright, update. Extrude from the base like we were doing before. Wrong button. And now, nope, let's check the parameters. Major piece, overall height. That ain't right. Let's see. Major piece. I did update this, right? Yep, I did. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and nah. Huh. Fascinating. Change parameters. Let me unstar these. Chess piece 14 is correct. Major piece 5 is correct. Right? Yeah, 5. There's the base height. So. Oh. Did I not star it over here? Change. No, it's starred. Okay, so it has the base height, but not the major piece height. Interesting. Let us go ahead and just start from scratch then. See what happens. Where'd my rock go? Rock, rock, rock. Do, 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 do. Actually, yeah. Let's close that out. Let's redo this. Try this like this. And modify, change parameters. Huh. Still only showing the base height. Fascinating. Why is it doing that? I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Save. Okay. And let's open it back up and see what happens. Change parameters. Huh, now this is an interesting problem because it's not carrying over. I'm not missing something, right? Change parameters. We started the major piece height. Maybe if I restart it. Okay. Save. Okay. Hop back over to the rock. Okay. And then update. Change parameters. Okay, this... Oh. There it is. It was hiding. I have no idea why it was hiding. Okay. Well, that was 10 minutes of my life I'm not going to get back. D6 ref is not the correct ref, but okay. I mean, it is the correct ref, but it's not the ref that I want. Major piece, overall height, ref. Huh. Wow, I really wanted to get this done today, and it has decided that it is just plain not going to cooperate. Huh. Boy, oh boy. Join. Two millimeters works. That's good. Huh. It refuses to recognize that reference, huh? That is crazy. Alright. Major piece height. And that is major piece height ref. Okie dokies. Huh. And that's set as 0. I'm guessing it's this D6 ref is my problem. Fascinating issue to have. Base along height. Major piece height. This comes from chess piece. Alright. Change parameters. Chess piece. Major piece height. Base height. Extrude base height. We starred that base height. So we have base height. That's starred. All that is starred. Okay. So that is fine. Major piece base. Change parameters. Let's come down here to base height. I don't see base height. Base height ref. Okay, there's base height ref. So see that is just wrong. So it's not recognizing that because of that. So let us fix this way then. Major piece height is overall height ref or underscore ref times 0.75 minus base height ref. Okay. And we'll star that. We'll unstar this one, star that one. Hit OK. Wait, that just gave me a D6 again, didn't it? Wow, okay. Something is seriously... I guess we're going to have to come all the way back here. And we are going to have to do the base height as its own thing. Let's kill this. D6. Okay. And now let's come back up here. Base height 6 millimeters. We'll include that just for propriety's sake. Come up here, change this to base height. Okay. And hit OK. Save this. Okay. Close that. Major piece. Whoops, that was the wrong button. Oh, get you updated. Change parameters. Let's grab that guy. Turn you off. This major piece height is incorrect. Let's kill it. And let's grab this guy. Hit OK. That guy is still reading the correct value. That's not 0 millimeters now. So that is correct. And then hop back over to rock. Update. Change parameters. Kill this guy. Unclick that guy. Come in here. Major, that's 32.10. That's good. All right. And we have fixed our problem. So evidently, when you do an import chain across parameters, if any of them are set on the feature itself, evidently that breaks everything. So that is not something I will ever do again. So major piece height now. And back to where we were. All right. I said 10 minutes ago earlier, we're now up to 15 to 20. Oh boy. All right, up to 4. And with all that done, we finally have the rook done. All right. The pawn does need to be updated. Pawn base needs to be updated first. Let us get this out of the way. That is now updated. We can save it and close it. And let me turn the pawn base to read only, just because back to readable pages. Whoa. Control Z. That's not read only. All right. After, let's do the bishop. Bishop. We are going to just confirm that this is what I think it is. Top of base divided by 4. Sure. Cool. Now let's come here. Go there. I'm just going to delete all these now because I'm feeling comfortable. Major piece. Derive. Click. With the parameters to existing design. Okay. And we are over on the bishop right now. Bishop. Okie dookies. Alright, and now bishop. We can redesign that. Not that one. I want these guys. Top of base. Perfection. Project. Okay. And the bishop is the corners. Toss that in there. Top, divide by 4. Equals. And line it like this because I can. And a major piece overall height. Join. Okay. And then circle pattern. Create circle pattern. Features. Select. Again, I should have a better reference point from this rather than the generic object origin, but that is something we'll fix in the future. Alright. Bishop is donezo. Cool. Did I already close the rook? Yeah, it looks like I already closed the rook, so let's just close the bishop then. Makes sense to me. I'm going to hop over to the knight. The knight is a bit difficult. So, what is this? Derived from chess piece. Derived from rook. Oh, that's right. I derived the rook directly in here. Okay. And let me take a look at this sketch really quick. Alright, so we went the corners and then 3.5, and that's perpendicular. Okay, I'm pretty sure I remember how this works. But just in case, I will not delete these just yet. So, major chess piece, derive, click. You guys know the drill. Existing. Okay. And Knight. Knight. Top of piece. Construction. Top of base. Project. Oh, no, actually we want finish, go back, and then grab the rock, drive, click, existing, okay, into the night, select, invalid target. Oh, okay, gotcha, cancel. In that case, we can just drag this back. I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna Control Z that. I'm gonna drag that back here, and then we're going to back up one, update. Yeah, sure, gotcha. All right, now we're gonna come in here, project the top of our base. Actually, Control Z. We'll just project this guy, intersect that guy. Okay. And then we'll turn him back off and get to work. So we had this guy in here, this guy in here, that guy on that guy there, that guy was 3.5, that guy was 3.5, and then we had this guy over here going across, giving us our mirror portion. We had these guys going here, and they were perpendicular, 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 and there we are. So let's extrude that. Major piece. Turn our body on to connect to, and hit OK. And then we just circle, and we are good. Pattern. Circular pattern, feature, select, center, up to 4, and OK. And now we can delete everything after this, delete all features, and save. Okie dokies, let's close him down. King derives from bishop, okay. Again, we can keep that in there, so let's just hop back here. Get the new base in here, major pawn base or major piece base, create, derive, click, existing, etc., etc., etc. King, select. Okay, let's get all our references up. Continue, no problem. Drag the bishop back and then ignore that. Grab our sketch plane, top of base, and intersect the bishop. Whoops, nope. Do that. And then we can turn them both off. And the king, we threw a line through here, as I recall. We also had this line here and this line here, I believe. Let me go ahead and look at it. Yep, that was right. Cool. And then we had, whoops, wrong button, whoops. Okay, I'm not in the sketch. There we go. Add that and that. That was a construction line. And then we had a line from there to there, and that was 45 divided by 2, as I recall. And this one was the 30, I believe, on this model. 30-degree angle. I will double check that one. Finish. Yep, 30. So everything does look good. Overall height ref. And this one minus bait height ref. Okay, cool. That one, obviously, the king we did not have set up on, so we need to fix that. Now, just to confirm something really quick, this height is 44.8, and let me grab the rock, inspect, there, come on, 32, so 44.8, 44.8 minus 32 is about 12. Something like that. Yeah, so close to 12, so close to half of 2 inches ish is about a quarter. Okay, I'm guessing that's about right. I was just double checking the size comparison. I believe it's about a quarter higher, so that sounds correct to me. So let us mirror that against that face. Okay, and then we circle pattern and we are good. Circle pattern, these two features around that axis in the middle there, and we go 4 times. Okie dokies. And we can delete everything after this because we have everything we need. So let's go ahead and save. And move on to the queen. Alright, queen, we can go ahead and grab these for right now. Yeah, gotcha. No problems. Let's move that back and then major piece, create drive, etc. You guys know the deal. Okay. We are on the queen right now. Select, hop forward 1 to get the bishop, and then continue the Grand Master plan. Whoops, that is not the correct plane. Boink, boink, boink. No, stop. Oh, pain. Alright, and now we intersect the bishop. The bishop. Okay. And this guy goes all the way out to the corners. Turn that stuff off. So that one there, that one there, that one there. Got this point right here, and 22.5 or 45.5, and this is the 30 on this one. 30. There we go. Actually, turn you into construction line for propriety's sake. And major piece height ref. Let's go create, mirror that against that. Okay, and circle pattern, and we are almost done. Circle pattern, there, there, there. That did not function the way I expected it to. Okay, there we go. Interesting. Okay, no, that's right. The more interesting thing is this is a good bit bigger. Let's see. 32. Remember when I just said 32 sounded, I guess, about right? I may be wrong about that, but 32 is not a bad number, so... No, that's right. Oh. Huh. Oh, it's... I don't know. I'm guessing what's going on here is that... obviously, it was only the sketch that was screwed up. Because the sketch was only screwed up, the extrusion was still going off of the old number, but from the base it was 6 millimeters shorter. So that would explain why those two pieces did not overlap. There we go. that explains that one. So we go ahead and save this one. And now let's come back over to the pawn. The pawn, I'm going to go ahead and do this deal here. And actually we'll do the bottom too. We're getting onto stylization here. And so with it being round, it's less pointed, but I don't know that that's necessarily a problem. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that for now. Oh, actually, let's round the top here. Yeah, all right. I'm cool with that. I think I'm cool with that. All right. We'll get reference short and then hit the save button. So there's that. Now let's grab the rock and start doing stuff with the rock. Stylizations. All right. How do we want to do this? So, back to getting this locking in with the horse. So, what my plan was with all these is to make them a bit bulbous, is what I was thinking. So, let us come back here, modify the, am I modifying this? Yeah, I do want to modify this because I do want to I wanted to make it more polygonal like I was talking about earlier. So, let us do this. And I'm gonna do that. Midpoint that guy. Add some asymmetry to the outside. Whoops, Control Z. I do have two lines here, right? Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. Click, click. And let's make sure we grab the right one. Cool. Alright. Alright, I like that as a start. Now, what I'm going to do is throw another construction line up there. And we are going to go major piece height times 0.75. Alright, cool. I'm going to make a projection here for that one. Not actually, I don't need all that. I only need this. Actually, this is basically all that, isn't it? Okay. And like I said, this is going to be bulbous. So we're going to keep that like that, and then at major height, piece height, major piece height. Going to do this again. Going to project that stuff again. And I'm going to offset it, I think is what I'm going to do. Oh, it's not on. That's why I can't see it. I I said that, but actually what I'm probably going to do is not do that. Rather than offset that, I'm going to offset this and then redraw in the angles from here is what I'm going to do. Okie dokies. So we will offset this stuff just by a millimeter is fine. And we want to flip that. And then we'll redraw. Actually, do we want just a millimeter? I'll see how it looks when we get done. So let us take that midpoint there like we did before. I'm just going to make everything construction lines for the time being. There to midpoint, there to not there to midpoint. There to midpoint, there to midpoint. There to midpoint. And then we can make these guys. That guy. Nope, not that guy. That guy? There we go. Now let's compare really quick. Oh, I did not go all the way there. That's why it looks different. Let's see how it looks anyway. Back to we're stylizing this, so I'm cool with experimenting here a little bit. We're gonna loft this up. Loft that, through that, and then finally that. So that gets our bulbous shape that I was talking about. Again, it gives us our arrow pointing towards the direction the piece moves. And otherwise, how do we feel about that? It shouldn't have any problem printing the overhangs there. I'm just wondering whether or not it doesn't need to be a bit thicker is the only thing I'm thinking. I guess I will... I guess we'll leave it like that. Delete that. Change this to reference that. Give me my axis back, please. Okie dokies. Adjust okay. And how do we feel about that? I think it's a decent design. Interesting. All right, we'll save it. Open up the bishop. Attempt to open up the bishop. All right, and I think I'm going to go with the same exact design over here. Actually, it won't be the same exact design because the bishop is going from the corner. So how do we want to do this? What looks nice? Actually, the diamond shape, I kind of like the diamond shape. Yeah, the diamond shape actually looks all right. Cool. Let's back up, and then we've got major piece overall height times 0.75. Okay. Okay, that is not working. Change parameter. Tell me I got an issue with this now. Modify change parameters. You are non-zero, so that's not the same issue we had before. Let us recycle this. Toss you up here. So before the issue that we were having, I assumed. I'm just gonna 32.5. Is that what it was? I assume the issue 38.10. 38.10. I assume that the issue that I had before was that it was a 0 when we were looking at it. It was calculating as 0 because it didn't have the base height reference. It was losing that. But 38.1, that does not appear the case. For some reason, we're getting weird reference errors. And I could not explain to you why. Especially because if I hop over here, oh, huh, that is back at 0 again. Major piece base. This is fascinating. That's version 7. We're on version 7. Fusion is just being silly, I guess. Major piece. Model parameters. I'm gonna delete that. Click that. Okay. And let's try that again. Alright, cool. And you should be times 0.75. Okay. Alright. We have solved our problem. So let's hop in here. Project this guy back out again. Sketches. That guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. Okay. Finish. Hop over. Toss a sketch on that guy. Project that guy back out. That guy, that guy, that guy. I am not in project. Good. Good, good, good. Click in. Okay. And then we will offset. And chain select does not work on projections. Turn you guys back into that. Attempt to turn you guys back into that. Alright, cool. There we go. And we'll do this diamond shape again. Actually, what if we do this instead? Back into making these a bit more interesting looking. And now we loft this guy up. Create a loft. And then we join. Yeah, nice little twisty features. One of these things on an FDM printer, I'm not sure how well it's really going to turn out, but we will see. Delete that. Yes, you are going to complain about it. That's okay. Click that. Turn the origin back on so I can get my axis. Turn the origin back off. Okay. And there is our, what you call it? A bishop. Save. Okay. And I guess we'll do the knight next. The knight, things are going to break on. Things are going to break here. So we're going to tackle this guy first. And that is exactly why it's going to break. So we are going to redesign this. And that is obviously borked. Let's turn the base off. And you should be able to, I wonder what you're connecting to. I'm just going to delete. Yeah, all that stuff just flying out into outer space. Good bunch of men. All right. So I'm going to do this here. We'll grab this guy here. Toss this guy in here. Back to, I'm doing points at this point. Yeah, doing points at this point. Good. We're making things really pointy is what I was trying to say. So I'm going to go ahead and make these guys. That is not going to, is that going to be correct? If I go here, go there. Yeah, you know what? I actually do not want these. Actually, that was the wrong thing to. Oh, okay. I didn't actually do anything. Control Y, Control Y. How do I want to do this? Let's take this. I'm going to delete this actually. Delete this to get it out of my way for just half a second. Click that. And I want to pointing perpendicular this way. So for that reason, I'm going to draw this like this. And now that's at a right angle there. So this right here should be 45. It is. Okay. I just wanted to confirm that that was going to be a 45. So this arrow is pointing 45 that way. And this line, if I take this line perpendicular, this should still bisect this. Yeah, it does. Okay. I just want to make sure that the lines were lining up the way I thought they were. Because when you look here, obviously that is going to be a straight line there. Therefore, rather than having this intersect here, in order to sell the fact that this is... Oh, crap. These are going to intersect right there, aren't they? They are. All right. The way we are going to fix this, then, is by not connecting here, is what we're going to do. Basically, I don't want these two to run into each other right here and have this flat edge. I actually want them to be separate arrows. So... I'm going to start here, start with this idea, there and there, and then we are going to get ourselves a point right here. Let's not, do I want it like this? Do I want a flat line right there is the question I'm asking myself right now. I think I do. This is going to be perpendicular to that. Let's make sure that happens. That is going to be perpendicular to that. Okie dokies. These are going to meet, and how did that happen? How did I, oh, that's how that happened. And they're going to meet on this line. All right, so the last thing to figure out, though, is to figure out what this angle is that I want here. If I call this a 60, 60, 60, 60, and I probably should have just copied the parameters. Where do you end up? All right, you miss. So actually, let's, instead of doing 60, do that. And I'm gonna delete the rest of these. All right, so quick maths. If this is angle A, and that is angle A, and that is angle B, and they all add up to 180, then, crap. What angle are you? 56.3? I'm just going to call this 56.3 then. Rather than do maths on stream. We have a policy against that. That is not 56.3, huh? That doesn't look like the same angle, but I suppose that's just me. Let's see this, 56.3. Okay, and I guess I do have an option to do something here. Let's see. I'm just trying to find something that looks decent, you know? We go midpoint there. What's our angle now? 51.3. Actually, rather than do that, let me do this. And connect that there. Control Z. Yeah, it does that. Crap. All right, we have other options. Other options is to do this. Midpoint that, perpendicular that. Okie dokies. And now we can say that this is 1, and that will define everything else. Am I content with that? I think I am. So let's delete all this stuff. Oh no, I don't want to delete that. So this is going to be, actually, let us toss this in here, and I'm just going to mirror that across to make my life simple. And I will take this, well, let's throw this guy across the middle here. And then we will go collinear here. Collinear there. And you are supposed to be on that line. All right, there we go. Wait. Why is this? What is going on here? Why is this profile open? Okay, that profile is not open. Fusion is just being silly. Understood. Understood. Major piece height ref. Mute. Alright, gazoon height. And let's join that. Okie dokies. And watch as everything explodes. Very enjoyable. Actually, first, before we do that, we need to mirror that. Create, mirror that, select that, okay. And then, wow, that is thick, okay. We probably don't want it that thick, but we'll live with it for right now. Origin. Z. Okay. Now I just want to see what this looks like before. Okie dokies. We are going to be a little tight at the bottom there. I expected that much. Sorry for the sniffles. The interesting thing is we do got to shrink it down by a little bit up top. Well, I kind of, no, that's right, because this is going to be upside down. This is going to be upside down, so let me actually do that right now. Modify, yeah, modify, align that guy with, turn that off, that guy, turn the rock back over, flip them upside down, hit OK. So this is how they're going to be nesting. So yeah, these guys, I'm going to want to shrink up on the bottom. And then they will be bigger at, or bigger, yeah, bigger at the top. So they're fine at the top. Right, they are fine at the top, and then I got to shrink them at the bottom, which is the opposite of what we did on the rook, which makes sense. It all checks out. So let me come here offset these guys. That guy. Turn stuff off so I can see. Oh, you're not gonna let me, are you? Okay. Let's turn stuff off again. I'm going to make that construction lines. And then Control Z. Do it this way, just so we can get it done. That guy, that guy, that guy. Flip it because we want to be smaller. Huh. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit messy. So, let us see. How do I want to go about this? First off, let's make that a construction line because it doesn't need to be there. This is one of those situations where the mesh editors kind of make it easier with the push-pull thing. Actually, let me leave that as is for right now and come back up here. Is there a good way to... Well, maybe we... Huh. I was kind of thinking... I can't think of a kind of scale or offset face along path kind of deal. It's all kind of linear. I was hoping to be able to set the set basically a sweep, set a sweep up and then sweep along it. It's kind of what I was thinking. Let us consider. Let's flip this guy back around because there's the other possibility here. I didn't want to do this, but it might make sense. Do this, capture position. Nah, this is not going to turn out right. But let's just see what happens. Keep tools. Turn the rook off. Yeah, yeah, that does not look right at all. Okay. But basically that's what we need is the current issue. So we're going so good, and then we got to the horsey, and I said the horsey was going to be difficult, and it most definitely was. Or is, rather, I should say. Basically, this guy here, I believe, should just extend all the way down there, and I should probably just stop fiddling and just go, is what I probably should do. Just trust that everything's going to work out here, instead of second guessing myself. And, whoops, let's turn the rock off. Major piece height times 0.75, and then project sketches. Project, whoops, not that. Let's turn that body off. This guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. Okay. Now, there's a possibility here that I should actually be projecting the inner one right here to make it fit, but I'm going to go for the larger one first and hope that works out. Because hoping is always superior to actually knowing what you're doing. All right, sketch on that guy. Project. Project. Turn that stuff off. Let's turn the origin off. And here we go. Now we get to find out just how badly we foobarred this. And actually, I think I forgot that bottom line on the other one. I did. So we get that guy. And now, moment of truth. Create. Loft. That guy. That guy. That guy. That is significantly less interesting looking than the other one. All right, we'll see how it turns out. Major piece, join. We're going to have to mirror that. Mirror that across there. Okay. And then delete. That's actually pretty interesting looking. I do like that look right there, but delete those. Click that. Get the origin that I just cleared out. That. And oh, whoops. Missed the other one. Adjust. And let us take the rook. The rook needs to be realigned because of course it does. Are we all the way at the end? Alright, we are at the end. Okie dookies. Rook. Turn the rook off. Base. Turn the rook back on. Flip. And let's see what it looks like. Alright. Actually does look like it works. And the idea here is that the knight should be... These two pieces should be holding each other in place. I'm going to capture position, which is probably why I kept on having to reassign position because I never captured it. And let's take our inspect interference and see what happens. Compute. Okay, so that is some minor interference at the top and the bottom, which actually I'm kind of okay with. It's very minor interference, and I actually kind of want some interference because I kind of want them pushing up against each other. So I think we're actually going to keep this design for right now. In terms of design itself, I think I'm going to actually scroll back here and, well, do I want to do it here? I'm going to do it here instead. I'm going to chamfer these tops because this is not as interesting looking as the other ones are because of these flat sections right here. 0.5. Maybe it was a mistake to do these guys. Oh, actually, yeah. What if we just do that face instead? The whole face. I was trying to be fancy, but... trying to be fancy, but it might be better to just do the whole face. Alright, now we do here and include that guy. Okay. Yeah, we end up with that guy in there, which is not great. Although it is saying that it's got an error. So let's try to fix the error. How do we feel about that divot though? That divot is not terrible. Just because it's centered. Alright. I've decided that we do not like it. So let us instead grab all these guys So this will give us the same effect that we had before, just without the divot in the middle. All right. Well, I think it's better just because it's not really flat. So don't know that's the nicest looking piece, but out of the ones that we've done so far, but it'll do. Save. All right. One thing that I should say that I was thinking and I never actually said out loud, the interferences here, in theory, this plane right here maybe should have been 0.25, and then this plane, this 2.25 plane right here, should have been, instead of the outside ones, the inside ones. I'm curious what that looks like. So as you can see, we got a lot more bulbous because we got to the maximum height a lot quicker. And that's obviously going to produce a lot more interference. But if we change this, instead of being this, to, not that, there, being the inner one. So let's grab this, that. Okay. And then it's gonna complain and say, oh my gosh, everything broke. I probably should have moved the timeline back so that this doesn't happen. All right, let's fix this loft now. I'm going to back up a little bit. That guy and that guy. Missing plane. Okay. Chamfer, missing edges. .5, whoops. 0.5, okay. And then that should be correct. What's your problem? I actually don't know what your problem is. Adjust. Okay. So the base here is a lot narrower, as you can see, because we don't get up to the maximum height as quickly. And actually, we could make this even more pronounced. We could make this even more pronounced by actually going back to 0.75 and just using the smaller profile. Yeah, there you go. So there's that, but I don't like that as much because this gets so thin and there's no way the FDM printer is going to be able to handle that. So let's leave it at this and call it a day. Now let's actually, I take it back. Let's do this one more time. Boink and calculate. So we were at 0.23 millimeter square, if I recall correctly. Now only at the very bottom here, you can see we've got just little tiny bits that are interfering. I don't see anything else at the top. So we've improved the we've reduced a lot of the interference. Again, we want some of it just because we want it squeezing against each other, but beyond that, we should be good. So that was probably the hardest piece out of all of them, just because of the weird shape of it. So the rest of them should be a little bit easier. Saved. Let's grab the queen. Gotta update everything, and everything's gonna break. That's interesting. Oh, everything kind of did break and it kind of didn't break. Now the queen, just like the just like the knight, we're gonna want to do the lower end one first. So let's, yeah, okay. Connect there, please. Thank you. And you connect there, please. Thank you. And then we want to offset this guy. Yeah, that gets so small though, because of the way we're doing it. So we probably should not do that one. So let's turn chain select off. That. Can we flip that? We can flip that, but it is way awful terabad. So let's unselect that. Okay, the queen's gonna be hard. How do we want to do this? Okay, I know how we're gonna do this. I know how to do this. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Actually, Control Y. Come back here. I shouldn't hit Control Z. Now I'm gonna have to reconnect all this stuff. You are connected there. You are connected there. All right, and now we can finish. All right, how we are going to do this is I'm going to now come back down to here and create a new sketch. And we're going to do and actually the best way to do this is to have this be a new body. And that mirror, okay, we're going to turn that off and select feature, that guy. Okay. Yeah, that is not what I wanted. Turn the base off. Okay. Alright, we're just gonna join it manually. Use that axis. Okay. Join. And doink doink. And join. Okay. That did not work. Okay. I am going to BRB really quick as we figure this out. Whoops, Control Z. And I never muted myself. Nice. All right. Cancel. Control Z. All right. We ended up with way more bodies than we needed. And our bodies are not combining. Actually, our bodies probably are combining, and we were probably just keeping tools. That would explain that one. So, this is definitely way more convoluted than I wanted to do, but we are going to be able to solve this problem, which is good. So we will project that, and now we will offset -1 there. And you can see that works a heck of a lot better than the other one does. And this is how we will go ahead and solve our problem. And the reason why this is an extra body, you may be wondering, is because I'm going to go ahead and use the intersect instead. So let us go ahead and go up from top of base, major piece height times 0.75. And you are familiar with the drill here. We're going to, like the knight, because the queen is also one of the pieces that gets nested into the other guys, we're going to go ahead and use the smaller profile on the 0.75 height. Okie dokies. And then on the full height, so top of base, whoops, finish, construction, top of base, major piece height. This one will go ahead and get the full outline of the model. And again, because of the way we designed it in the first place, that's why we have to jump through all these hoops. Okie dokies. And now we can loft this up and intersect, and we will be done. Finish sketch first would help. Loft, little guy, big guy. There we go. And intersect the previous body. Whoops, turn you on, turn you on, turn you on. There we go. Intersect. There's the queen. Now we just obviously combine this and that. Join, don't keep tools. And we are good to go. That actually, technically speaking, should be the other way around. Turn you on. Oh. Nope. Stop. Stop. There. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Save the queen. And actually, we'll go ahead and, well, I think it's pretty clear that that shouldn't be, it might actually, huh? Maybe it is a good idea to flip that upside down and make sure. Flip upside down, hit OK. Okay, no, it does clear. We just want to make sure. And at the top, we are just barely hitting, which should be fine. The interesting thing is that, nah, that should be fine. Should be fine. Copium. You like Tay memes? Tay memes are funny. Did nothing break so far? Nothing appears to have broken so far, but that's only because things are not breaking. We have the same actual breaks that the other one had, the queen had. So we understand how to fix those. And then we're going to use the same exact process to convert the king as we used for the queen. So new body, mirror adjust is fine. Circular pattern, fix that. Okay. Combine. Last time I clicked them all, that was kind of stupid of me. Just make sure we don't click the wrong one and then click this list here. That is the more intelligent way to go about this. I'm not big on doing things intelligently, so that's why we did it the hard way last time. Click this. We know the drill from the queen. And flip that around. Okay. Finish. Height. Overall piece height ref. Minus base height ref. Cool. Alright, cool. And we need to put those in parentheses and 0.75, so it's not quite the same, but it's pretty obvious where the difference occurs. Click these guys. Should turn the body off to make this easier. Oh wait, is double clicking actually working this time? Maybe. I swear this never works. It's not supposed to work. I've told you guys so many times that it doesn't work, and I just made it work. That's overall base height minus base height ref. Okay. And well, guess what, guys? It works. I'm not happy about it, but it does. Where's our loft button? That is sweep, not loft. And small, small, big. And intersect with that. And that got real skinny. This might have to come down here so it's not as skinny. Yeah, alright. I'll take it. And now we just combine. Boink and boink. And we are good. And we are there, guys. That should be effectively, aside from modeling it to look correct, that should be everything that we needed to do. Now let's watch as everything breaks here. Excellent. Everything broke just like I expected to. But like I said, all it is modeling at this point, so should be good. I will say this height difference here between the king and everybody else, it's probably a little overdone for one thing. It's a full ½ inch. The second thing to mention is that, well, I mean, I guess if it's a 2-inch piece and ½ inch is 1/4 height, which, yeah, is what I said before. I said before if it's quarter off, then that's probably correct. I don't know. We'll consider that. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because when these nest together, when the bishop nests with the king, everything else is going to be pulled upwards because everything is being held in place by the pawns. And therefore the bottoms are aligned, which means that they're going to be pulled upwards, and that may cause extra interference. But it's one of these things. I'm going to go ahead and get these printed ASAP so that I can start testing and deciding whether or not anything is broken. So, it has been one wild ride going along here. Thank you for everybody who showed up. As I mentioned, well, actually, did I mention it last stream? I can't remember if I mentioned it last stream. But because this one was so subpar on the design stream part, everything did not flow as smoothly as the other streams. I will be defaulting onto the the highlight reel. I'm going to be switching this over to a highlight reel and editing a video together to go over all the steps instead. That's an idea I came up with after the Chrome extension that I was writing, and one of those things The API was manifest version 3, which I'm not familiar with, so it was a lot of API referencing to get caught up on the differences in the API. Plus I was using some parts of the Chrome extension API that I don't normally use. So that did not run as smoothly as I expected it to, and at that point I decided, hey, you know, if this ever happens again, if things don't necessarily go terribly well during a design stream, then we can just salvage it. We can, well, I shouldn't say salvage it. I guess it has some merits to it, but I can make it a lot more consumable by turning it into a highlight reel and then just going over everything in, let's say, a 15-20 minute video. And one of those things, if you needed to see anything in slow motion, I can leave these videos unlisted and then provide links back to them in the highlight video. So that is the plan going forward. So you should see a condensed, edited down version of this with some voiceover just explaining everything that happened in the near future. Probably not, though, before we're done entering for the Prusa contest. Once I'm going to make sure that I have that all set up first, and then I'll come back and edit together this video. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and leave the streams up in case anybody wants to watch them. But once I have that all set up, then I will go ahead and then I will go ahead and unlist those and just have the one video up. So yeah. One last thing I'll mention, since we chamfered all these edges, I'm thinking about chamfering these guys, but we will come to that decision later. And that's not that big of a deal, you know. So I'm not going to hold you here. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great and wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're in the world. And I will catch you next time.